Hey YouTube, just thought I'd do a quick follow-up video for Rich MC, who asked to see the carnage from my last unsuccessful attempt at launching my paramotor, which ended up in a face plant and a couple of broken pieces on my brand new paramotor. This is one of them. Supposed to be a tip on that. This is a carbon fiber prop that of course I've got to replace amongst other things, and I'll show you the damage that I've done. It's behind me, but I'll get to that in a minute. I was thinking though, you know, when this happened to me, and when I got, you know, out of the harness and turned around and saw the damage that I did, I have to say I was heartbroken. I mean, there was so much that went into me deciding, you know, to jump on the paramotor bandwagon, and you know, it was a big commitment financially as well. I mean, this stuff's not cheap, as you guys know, I'm sure. I just, you know, I just couldn't believe it, and I doubted whether or not to continue the paramotor training, whether or not it was something for me. I mean, all the way home, I was just like, where do I go from here? After the dust settled, you know, after a few hours, I got online and got in contact with a couple of the paramotor veterans, and well, lo and behold, you know, crap like that has happened to them too. Not that it made me feel good that it happened to them, but basically what I took away from it is that, you know, I'm probably right where I'm supposed to be at the stage of learning that I'm at. I've had 5 flights, you know, 6 attempts, well, 5 successful flights, and you know, 1 face plant. But I from a beginner's perspective, from a complete newbie, man, if there's anyone out there that, you know, had something similar happen to them and are questioning, you know, the decision they made to get into the sport, you know, I would look at it, and what this is, you know, from what others have told me, you know, this is a journey, and things like this are going to happen. It's I hate to say inevitable, but you know, from those that I've talked to, it's pretty much inevitable, you know. And then the failure is really not so much a failure unless you don't do anything about it. You know, in other words, you don't learn something from your failures. So looking back at what I did wrong and what I should have been doing, what I didn't do, is I didn't know where the wing was. I wasn't looking at the wing the way I should have been. Had no idea, you know, the position of the wing relative to me, and you know, it bit me. As a consequence, a good consequence of that, you know, I have decided and have been kiting like for hours and hours on end. I mean, you know, every chance I get, every day that is the wind cooperates and the weather cooperates, I'm out kiting. And that has actually, number one, it's made me better, you know, interacting with the wing, and learning about, you know, the subtle pressures needed, the weight shift, you know, just all the way around. And my hope is that, you know, it'll translate directly into better and safer launches. So that being said, I'll give you a tour of the damage I did on flight attempt number 6, launch attempt number 6, you know, of course, the propeller. And like I said, this is a carbon fiber propeller, and to replace this baby is $450. Instead of going with another carbon fiber prop, I'm going with a wooden prop, because it cost It was $250, and you know, until I get some more, you know, experience and confidence, I think I'm just going to stick with the wooden prop. I'll come back to this, I'm sure, but not now. Let's see, let me go over here and show you the damage that I did. I bent 3 spars. One, you know, it's pretty gosh darn obvious, is right here, and the other one is this piece right here. It's bent right there, and I could have probably bent that back into shape, but I decided no, I'm just going to go ahead and replace that. The third one is this arm right here. It got bent in this section. Again, I could have probably repaired that. This is titanium, maybe bent it back into shape, but I went for the replacement. Also, I damaged my hoop, and in order to replace this is $450 or $475, which I opt, and it actually you know, messed up my net too, but I was able to repair that. Not the best repair, but it's definitely going to do the trick. The other thing, and I didn't mention, that I got were 3 of my lines that had to be replaced. So that's $20 a piece for the lines, and altogether I think the repair is going to run me about $650. So you know, I gotta wait for some parts to come in and get back to it, but in the meantime I'm just going to concentrate on getting to know my kite better and kind of go from there. So if y'all have any questions or comments, we'll leave them down below, and other than that, we'll see y'all in the sky.